pituitary hormones, page 2659. The anterior pituitary hormone is referred to as the master gland because together with hypothalamus it orchestrates the complex regulatory hormone and blah blah. The anterior pituitary gland produces six major hormones: prolactin, GH, growth hormone, ACTH, LH, FSH and TSH. So we will read all of these one by one. Pituitary hormones are secreted in a pulsatile manner, reflecting regulation by an array of specific hypothalamic releasing factors. So these hormones are regulated by hypothalamic releasing factors. Each of these pituitary hormone elicits a specific tropic response in the peripheral target tissue. Hormone products of these peripheral glands in turn exert feedback control at the level of hypothalamus and pituitary to modulate its function. Let's go to the figure 37.1. Yeah. two pages later. So these are the hypothalamic releasing or inhibitory hormones. Most of them are releasing, only one is inhibitory, dopamine. So these are the releasing hormones secreted by the hypothalamus. Based on these, the pituitary secretes its six hormones: ACTH, TSH, LH, FSH, prolactin and GH. Now these, they act on their respective individual target organs like ACTH on adrenal, TSH on thyroid, FSH, LH on testes and ovaries, prolactin on lactation, milk glands, and growth hormone stimulates the liver and via that acts on the chondrocytes on the bone, and the liver secretes the IGF-1. Now these peripheral target organs secrete the respective hormones. ACTH causes adrenal gland to secrete cortisol, TSH causes thyroid gland to secrete T3, T4, LH, cause testosterone inhibiting, cause spermatogenesis, sex hormone, secondary sex characteristic, ovaries secrete the estrogen, progesterone and inhibiting. Okay, like that. And these, the end hormones, they have an inhibitory feedback mechanism on pituitary as well as hypothalamus, each one of them. Okay, so going back to where we were, pituitary tumors. The pituitary tumors cause the characteristic hormone excess syndrome, right? Hormone deficiency may be inherited or acquired. The tumors will cause hormone excess. If there is a hormone deficiency, it can be inherited or acquired. Fortunately, there are efficacious treatment, blah blah. Nonetheless, these diagnoses are often elusive, and this emphasis gives the importance to subtle clinical manifestations. We can skip this line. So, starting from the beginning, anatomy and development. Anatomy. Now, this is important point starts. The pituitary gland weighs 600 milligrams. It is located within the sella turcica, ventral to the diaphragmatic sella. Sella turcica, ventral to the diaphragmatic sella. It consists of anatomically and functionally distinct anterior and posterior lobes. The bony sella is contiguous to the vascular and neural structure, including cavernous sinus, cranial nerve, and optic chiasma. That is why an expanding intracellular pathologic process may have significant central mass effects in addition to their endocrinological impact, right? So I'm marking over here pituitary gland 600 milligrams, sella turcica, ventral to the diaphragmatic sella, and it is surrounded by optic chiasma, cavernous sinus and cranial nerve. Fine. Then hypothalamic neural cells synthesize specific releasing and inhibitory hormone that are secreted directly into the portal vessels of the pituitary stalk. Right. The blood supply of the pituitary gland comes from superior and inferior hypophyseal arteries. Figure 350, 371. Yeah. So let us see. This is the hypothalamus. The neuroendocrine nuclei in the hypothalamus, they secrete the releasing or inhibitory hormones. This is the pituitary stalk. This is the anterior pituitary. This is the posterior pituitary. Okay. So they secrete it, that passes through the stalk to the yeah. So the blood supply of hypothalamus is superior hypophyseal artery, okay, over here, and the inferior hypophyseal artery. Superior comes from the front side, anterior side, inferior comes from the back side. These are the portal vessels that is connecting the hypothalamus and the pituitary in the stalk. So the hormones are released and they enter the pituitary via these portal vessels. Then over here they are talking hormone secreting cells. Okay, ठीक है. Short portal vessels. So long portal vessels are between the hypothalamus and the pituitary, and short portal vessels are between the anterior and posterior. And then there is hormone secretion. Okay. So coming back, the hypothalamo-pituitary portal plexus provides major blood source for the anterior pituitary. Yes, isn't it? It is towards the anterior pituitary only. So this is again a major blood source, allowing reliable transmission of hypothalamic peptide pulses without significant systemic dilution. Consequently, the pituitary cells are exposed to releasing and inhibiting factors and in turn release their respective hormones. Next paragraph, the posterior pituitary is supplied by the inferior hypothalamic. So the right inferior hypothalamic hypophyseal arteries. In contrast to anterior pituitary, the posterior lobe is directly innervated by the hypothalamic neurons, right? So that is the supraoptic hypophyseal and the tuberohypophyseal nerve tracts via pituitary stalk, right? So the anterior pituitary, the neurons are connected via the portal vessels, whereas the posterior pituitary, the neurons directly come. The neurons come up to the posterior pituitary blood vessels directly, right? Yeah, so I'll read it again. Posterior pituitary is supplied by inferior hypophyseal artery. Posterior lobe is directly innervated by the hypothalamic nerve, that is the supraoptico-hypophyseal nerve and the tuberohypophyseal nerve tracts via the pituitary stalk. Thus, the posterior pituitary production of vasopressin, that is antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin. Posterior pituitary secretes only 2. So the 6 are secreted by the anterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary is ADH and oxytocin. They are sensitive to the neuronal damage by lesions that affect the pituitary stalk or the hypothalamus. Okay. Pituitary development. The embryonic differentiation and maturation of the anterior pituitary cells are illustrated in detail. Okay. The pituitary development is from the Rutgers pouch. Involves a complex interplay of lineage-specific transcription factors expressed in the pluripotent precursor cell and gradients of locally produced growth factor, whatever. You just remember that it develops from the Rutgers pouch. The transcription factor prop1. Prop1 induces pituitary development of PIT1 specific lineages. The transcription factor is prop1. It causes the pituitary development of PIT1 lineages, PIT1 specific lineages as well as gonadotrope. Then the PIT1 determines the cell-specific expression of GH, prolactin and TSH in somatotropes, lactotropes and thyrotropes respectively, right? So prop1, then PIT1. PIT1 causes expression of GH, prolactin and TSH. Expression of high level of estrogen receptors in the cell that contain PIT1 favors prolactin expression, whereas thyrotrope embryonic factor induces TSH. PIT1 binds to GH, prolactin and TSH gene regulatory elements as well as the recognition site on its own promoter, providing a mechanism determining specific pituitary hormone stability. So I will just write it down over here. First is prop1. It induces PIT1. Now PIT1 goes and attached to estrogen receptors, so they secrete prolactin. Okay, then TEF, there is thyrotrope embryonic factor, so it secretes TSH, right? And the third one is growth hormone. Growth hormone binds to GH, prolactin and GH regulatory element. There's no space. Basically these are regulatory elements. Okay, need not go into the detail much. Gonadotrope cell development is further defined by the cell specific expression of nuclear receptor steroidogenic factor 1 and dosage sensitive sex reversal adrenal hypoplasia DAX1. D is for dosage sensitive sex reversal adrenal hypoplasia critical region on chromosome X gene 1, that is DAX1. Okay, so gonadotrope will be, I think, after this. Development of corticotrope cells which expresses the POMC gene, propiomelanocortin gene, requires TPIT transcription factor. Abnormality in the pituitary development is caused by PIT1, PROP1, SF1, SAX1 and TPIT gene, results in rare. Okay, so PIT1 हो गया. इसके बाद I'll make another arrow. DAX1, then there is steroidogenic factor 1. Okay, and there is POMC and TPIT. Okay, so for prolactin expression it is estrogen receptor. For TSH it is thyrotrope embryonic factor, and for growth hormone it is growth 1. PH binds to growth hormone, PIT1 directly binds to the growth hormone regulatory elements. Then for this thing, further development, steroid, it is steroidogenic factor SF1 and DAX1, that is dosage sex reversal, adrenal hypoplasia critical region and chromosome X gene 1. Development of corticotrope cells. This is for steroidal hormone. For corticotropes it is POMC gene which requires TPIT transcription factor. Okay, fine. Now anterior pituitary hormone. Each anterior pituitary hormone has unique control, blah blah. So let us go with, first is prolactin. Prolactin consists of 198 amino acids. 198 amino acids. Molecular weight is 21,500. Weakly homologous to GH and HPL. This is important. It is homologous to GH and human placental lactogen, reflecting the duplication and divergence of GH prolactin and HPL precursor gene. Prolactin is synthesized in lactotropes, which constitutes about 20% of the anterior pituitary cells. Okay, lactotropes and somatotropes are derived from a common precursor cell. They may give rise to a secretory tumor secreting both pH and growth hormone. Okay, pH over here only, prolactin and growth hormone. So growth hormone, prolactin and human placental lactogen, right? Marked lactotrope cell hyperplasia develops during pregnancy and first few months of lactation. These are transient functional changes induced by the estrogen. Secretion. The normal adult prolactin levels are about 10 to 25 microgram per liter in women and 10 to 20 microgram per liter in men. Prolactin secretion is pulsatile, highest secretory peak during the rapid eye movement of sleep. Even cortisol was highest during the middle of the sleep. Peak serum prolactin level up to 30 occur between 4 am to 6 am. Circulating half-life is 50 minutes. Prolactin is unique among the pituitary hormone, that is predominant central control mechanism is inhibitory. Yes, everything else has a releasing factor, only prolactin has an inhibitory factor, which is dopamine, reflecting tonic dopamine mediated suppression of prolactin release. This regulatory pathway accounts for spontaneous prolactin hypersecretion. So whenever the dopamine is low, just excuse me.